Welcome. This is the first of 14 videos about MET-CBT intervention for adolescent substance misuse. MET-CBT stands for Motivational Enhancement Therapy and Cognitive Behavior Therapy. Both are evidence-based approaches that work together to help your client achieve change.
We will begin with how you introduce the subject of change with your clients. These video skills vignettes are meant to complement the following resources: your training, the MET-CBT manual, study guides. When working with youth, be curious, listen, and get to know each individual, not just their problems. The collaboration you build from the get-go will determine how the rest of the work will take place. Build collaboration with your clients using the basic motivational interviewing skills to build rapport and trust. Open-ended questions, affirmations, reflections, and summaries. Follow the essentials of the motivational interviewing rule when starting out. Do not try to change anything right away. Be curious. Listen well to fully understand your client. Express empathy.
The following questions are helpful in creating a rapport and conversation about the youth's life. During the initial rapport building phase, you're not only assessing readiness to change, but also the youth's recovery risks and assets. Ask them about their passions and their interests. What do they really like to do with their time, and how do they spend their time? What are their strengths? What are they most proud of? Ask them to tell you about a recent accomplishment. Ask about different domains of their life. Home life, for example, relationships with family and friends, education, feelings, drugs and alcohol, sex, and smoking cigarettes. Once you have developed a rapport and there is a sense of collaboration, begin orienting the youth about the work ahead. Give the rationale for the intervention you are choosing, in this case, MET-CBT. Hand out the welcome sheet. Hand out the expectation sheet. Review expectations. In the following scene, the provider attempts to build rapport with their client and then begins orienting them on their treatment.
Well, hi, welcome to Community Connections.
Not like I have much of a choice coming here.
Yeah, I know. I figured your probation officer sent you over here, so.
What else did he tell you?
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. First, I just want to say thanks for coming here. Thanks for actually showing up. My name's Matt. I'll be the one kind of taking you through this whole process. If you have any questions for me, just feel free. What do you like to be called?
James.
James. Okay. Well, James, first thing we like to do is just try to get to know who we're talking to. So I'll just be asking you a couple different questions, and we can start out like that. Does that make sense? So let's talk a little bit about what do you do with your time when you're not around here?
I don't do much. I hang out, go to school, play video games, play football.
Okay. And now that it's summertime, what do you do?
I mostly just sleep. I chill out. I work at a restaurant, bussing tables. Sometimes I hit the beach if the waves are up.
How's your summer going?
It's cool, it's decent. I like taking money home from work every day after my shift, and the people I work with are pretty cool.
Taking home money every night's a good thing. Gives you some freedom. What about home? How's your folks?
Oh, you mean my mom and my sister? Because my dad, he's not really in the picture. Ever since they busted me smoking weed, they just been constantly on my back. Always checking my eyes, always needing to know where I'm going. It's a big hassle.
So you're in the hot seat, so to speak.
Yeah. Totally. But another year, I'm out of here in a big way.
Gone, huh? What are you gonna do?
I was thinking either Marines or Coast Guard.
What do you like about the Marines or the Coast Guard?
I don't know. I like the water. I guess it seems like it would be an exciting job. Doesn't seem boring.
Mm-hmm.
And guess the idea of rescuing people seems kind of cool.
You like the idea of being able to help people.
In the beginning, the therapist uses a feeling reflection in order to demonstrate he clearly listened to and understands the client's situation. From there, the therapist shifts the topic of discussion away from the feeling and meaning of probation referring and onto the present moment to build rapport and trust. After that, the therapist asks open-ended questions, allowing him to get to know the client's current life and assess recovery assets and risks. This conversation would normally go on for 5 to 10 minutes before refocusing the conversation on the more structured approach of the intervention. Let's fast forward to the provider orienting the client to treatment.
All right, well, thanks for filling me in on your life. All too often people come in here and just want to talk about problems. So, we're glad that you want to talk about who you are. You are not, your problems.
So what am I expected to do now that I've told you all that?
Well, let me orient you with this packet. Now, the first thing that's going to talk about on there is called confidentiality. Confidentiality basically means that anything we say in here stays in here. There's the exception of your family and your probation officer. The other exception being that I'm what's called a mandated reporter, meaning that if you indicate to me that you're going to harm yourself or others, that I would be forced to break confidentiality. In which case, I would actually let you make those calls to the proper authorities, and I wouldn't want to go behind your back.
Yeah, but doesn't probation need to know if I've been clean or if I've been drinking, and when you have to tell them then?
That's actually between you and your probation officer, but based on everything that's happened here so far, I'm assuming that is correct. Your probation officer also wanted your mother to be authorized in this, which I think is a good idea. Your mother is a source of stress for you now based on what we've shared, and I think she could actually be a good resource for you.
Yeah, I was told that I might need to sign something and that my mom would be involved. And I get that. That's fine because I'm done drinking until I'm legally allowed anyway. Plus, I need a clean record in order to enlist. So.
Well, it sounds like you know exactly where you want to go with this, and we're gonna tie in with that later. The next thing is actually going to talk about the welcome sheet. Explains that this is a brief program, and it's designed specifically for people your age group who want to stop using. It's going to talk about, we expect you to come in on time and sober. Your first sessions will focus on who you are and where you're from. They're going to focus on how you used before and how you use now. It's going to go over some skills like direct communication, getting and giving support, problem solving, and it's going to help you be able to make changes in the way you desire things.
So after I've completed all that, then I'm done?
Good question. You actually, it's a brief treatment. It's 5 to 8 weeks, and you're not actually done until the probation officer, me, and in this case your mother, all agree that you can live a clean lifestyle.
So the quicker I get and stay clean, then the quicker I'm out of here.
Yeah, you could put it that way. The other sheet, the treatment expectation table, shows how to determine your progress in treatment. It's going to go over things like obvious stuff, your attendance, your participation, your UAs being clean, and the other one is actually real life practice, which means that the stuff we're going to be doing in treatment, we're going to be taking that to outside treatment as well. Stuff you can use in your daily life, this is actually the most important part of the treatment process. It's going to help you decide, what we do in here, whether it will work or not, and ultimately decide if your treatment is complete.
And who sees the sheet?
We actually fax that sheet to your PO and whoever else you authorize. So in this case, be your mother. You would actually be the one who fills it out, though, by filling in excellent, completed, or missed opportunities, being MOs. Too many MOs, and it'll start to look like the treatment is not effective, and we'll have to reconsider different treatment strategies for you. Make sense?
Yeah, whatever. As long as it gets me out of here and into the Marines, that'll work.
The therapist clearly states the orientation, rationale, and expectations of the intervention and continuously checks in with the client to make sure the information is understood. The client now knows how the intervention will be structured, what information will be shared, and how he can measure his own progress.